The moment I extended my hand, I had no idea I was about to ruin my life. Or, depending on how you looked at it, get a whole new one. I was just a low-ranking xenolinguist, assigned to a diplomatic mission on the planet Velnara Prime. Our delegation was there to finalize a trade agreement with the Velnari, a race of tall, elegant humanoids with bioluminescent patterns running along their skin. When Princess Ayara Velshan approached me, I didn't think twice. She had a striking presence, glowing violet eyes, silver-threaded robes, and a scent like fresh rain. I was focused on making a good impression, so I did what any earthling would do. I smiled and offered my hand. Big mistake. Ayara hesitated, then placed her warm, delicate fingers in mine. The moment our hands touched, her glow brightened, and a murmur rippled through the assembled Velnari. Then, to my growing horror, they bowed. Ayara's gaze locked onto mine, surprise and something else. Was it excitement? Flickering across her face. "You have chosen," she said in perfect standard galactic. "And so have I." I swallowed hard. Chosen what?" She tilted her head. "Our bond." "No." The delegation's leader, Ambassador Kern, paled. "Cal, step back now." But it was too late. The Velnari High Minister stepped forward, beaming. "It is done. A union has been sealed between Earth and Velnara." Union. I looked from the minister to Ayara, whose luminous eyes watched me with an unsettling intensity. Ambassador Kern grabbed my arm. "You just proposed marriage, you idiot." The trouble with alien customs. An hour later, I sat in the palace chambers, desperately trying to process what had just happened. "You mean a handshake is a marriage proposal?" I asked Ayara, who sat across from me, composed and regal. "Not just any handshake," she corrected, "but a direct touch offered in sincerity, with no hesitation. It is the Velnari way." I groaned, running a hand through my hair. "Look, Princess." "Ayara," she interrupted smoothly. "Right, Yura. This is a misunderstanding. I didn't mean to propose. On Earth, a handshake is just a greeting." She studied me, the soft glow of her skin shifting colors. Pink, then a shade of deep blue. "Then, you regret it." I opened my mouth, then hesitated. Did I regret it? Sure, I just accidentally gotten engaged to an alien princess, but Ayara was, well, stunning, intelligent, and somehow, despite the insane circumstances, I wasn't entirely opposed to the idea. But logic won out. "I think we should fix this. There's got to be a way to undo it, right?" Ayara's expression was unreadable. "There is a way," she admitted after a pause. A wave of relief hit me. "Great. What do we do?" She exhaled. "You must fight." "Excuse me." In Velnari tradition, the only way to dissolve a bond is through a formal challenge. A contest of skill and strength. Blinked. "You mean like a duel?" "Yes," she said simply. "Against my other suitors." Oh, for crying out loud. The gauntlet of suitors. As it turned out, Ayara had no shortage of admirers. 7 to be exact. Each of them was not happy about a lowly human swooping in and stealing their chance with her. The challenges ranged from combat trials to tests of intellect. I barely scraped through a strategy puzzle against a 6-armed scholar named Varric Kull. But the real problem came when I faced General Thalvarin, the High Commander of the Velnari Defense Force. He was built like a tank and carried a plasma glaive. We stood in the palace arena, a crowd gathered around us. Ayara watched from the royal balcony, unreadable as ever. Thalvarin smirked. "You do not belong here, human." "Yeah, believe me, I agree," I muttered, gripping my practice staff. The duel began, and I barely dodged his first swing. The next few minutes were a blur of near-death experiences. I was fast, but Thalvarin was better. He disarmed me in 3 moves, his glaive stopping just short of my throat. The crowd fell silent. I turned to Ayara. Well, that settles it, right? But she didn't speak. Her expression was fierce and furious. No, she declared. The challenge was not to the death. And he did not yield. Thalvarin scowled. He lost. That proves he is unworthy. Ayara stood, her voice ringing through the chamber. It proves only that he is untrained. Yet he stood before you knowing he would lose. That is courage. Wait, was she defending me? Ayara's eyes met mine. Cal Forrester, do you still wish to leave? I hesitated. Something had changed. This wasn't just about me anymore. The Velnari had centuries-old traditions, but Ayara wasn't bound by them. She was challenging them. And for some reason I wanted to stand with her. So I took a deep breath and said the last thing I ever expected. No, I'll stay. A royal future. It's been 6 months since that moment. Turns out, Ayara wasn't just a princess. She was the heir to the throne. And as her bonded partner, I wasn't just her husband. I was now in line to be the future king of Velnara. Am I freaking out? Absolutely. But Ayara and I have built something real. It wasn't just an accidental handshake anymore. It was us, learning, growing, and finding a middle ground between Earth and Velnara. Last night, she turned to me with a small, knowing smile. You're still thinking about that handshake, aren't you? I sighed. Oh yeah. She laughed, luminous and beautiful. Then perhaps, she whispered, you should be more careful about where you put your hands. I pulled her close, grinning. Not a chance. And just like that, I stopped regretting everything.